we're really entering a different phase right now. It's a time of reopening. Businesses are reopening. Churches are starting to reopen around the country. Of course, at First Liberty, we've never shut down. We've been working all night. We've had lawsuits all across the country, some great victories, but we're physically now in our offices reopening. And as you can see, we're meeting all the safety measures, the CDC guidelines. I think this is just one of many examples of the fact that this is what's happening all across the country. People are starting to reopen. Unfortunately, a number of our governors and states have not gotten the memo on the fact that people are reopening. And they're actually issuing orders and guidelines that discriminate against churches and their ability to reopen, even if they can do so safely. We've had to file a lawsuit this week in Kentucky on behalf of a church, and if we win this, just like we won that really landmark case protecting churches before Easter with regard to drive-in services, we're hoping this will be that case that really protects all churches in reopening in service with people in the churches in a safe way. It's an important case. We're hopeful. We're reaching out actually even to the Attorney General of Kentucky, asking if he will join us in a lawsuit against the governor. We're very hopeful, very optimistic that that's going to happen. This will be really important for our churches. Additionally, we sent a letter on behalf of 50 different churches in Illinois to the governor there. Again, you can't say that you can open everything else but not the churches. That type of discrimination is not allowed, especially when they're being safe, when they're complying with everything to make sure that there's no problems. Third, we also have a case coming on Friday of this week. We're going to be arguing in federal court in Washington State. This is against an order that is so outrageous by the governor there that it tells you you cannot meet in a religious gathering even if it's just two of you. Our plaintiff in the case, he simply wants to meet with one other person for Bible study outdoors at his house and 15 feet away from one another. Yet that is a crime in the state of Washington. Two people can go play golf, but two people can't talk about the Bible. You can't do that in this country, and so we're actually having an argument before the federal judge on Friday as to whether he will grant a restraining order against the governor of Washington. These are the kind of battles that we're having to fight right now. I just want to say if you are contributing to this and you've been contributing to this effort, thank you. I feel like you're a part of history right now and the history that's being made for the future of our country. If you haven't yet, we'd love for you to jump in, be involved, really in setting history. This sort of law in a pandemic is all new, and what we want to make sure is that the new normal when we come out of this is not one with less freedoms for our churches, for our houses of worship, for religious freedom. So we've got to really be diligent, and I think you know we're all in. Thank you for being all in with us as well. I want to leave you with some good news. We're about to do a number of things. Number one, I would love for you to participate, if you haven't before, in our telecall that we do every Friday about what's going on. We have special guests. You can just go to the website and just call in the number and you can listen in. This week, Senator Ted Cruz is our guest that we'll be talking about. He's both good on the aspect of what's going on in Congress, but also good on the constitutional law. He's argued 10 cases before the Supreme Court. It'll be a good conversation. Additionally, we are about to send a letter to Congress and to the President and Vice President about the danger and the fact that in this legislation they're maybe going to pass, they need to provide liability protection for not only businesses but for churches and houses of worship. The idea of lawsuits being brought against them is freezing a lot of organizations from opening because they can't follow the 137 guidelines issued by the CDC. And if they miss just one, there's a trial lawyer waiting to try to cause them trouble and claim that that's the reason why somebody is ill. So these kinds of protections are really important. Our letter on behalf of groups from all over the country is trying to alert our Congress to the fact of this isn't just about businesses, it's also about our houses of worship and the protection they need from these type of frivolous lawsuits. I want to end with we've gotten a couple of notes. It's really encouraging to get from new supporters, people that are watching what's happening, and they're saying, you know, I never thought I would see these types of things happening in my country, and I'm really concerned about religious liberty. One of them, we read to the whole staff this week as we had prayer time for our country, for our supporters and for First Liberty and all the cases we're working on. And as I read it, it said, I thought maybe things would be a little slower right now for you guys. And it said, boy, was I wrong. And it started going through all the things they had seen we were doing, the different victories, and they said they were so proud to be a new supporter and to be involved with First Liberty. Well, I want to thank you for being somebody who's been around for a good while, and you've been in the battle, and this is such a key time that we've been prepared for. Thank you for being a part of this. Keep lifting us up in prayer, and God bless you.